going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about Final Fantasy. Now, let's go over a little bit. Let's go over some backstory. Today's the first day in a long time. Well, this week, because I've been thinking about this for a couple days now. It's the first time that I truly believe now that we're going to get Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth. Now, there is some variables that stop us from getting this game, that stop the Xbox ecosystem, the Xbox consumer from getting this game. Now, like I said, backstory. For those of you that don't know, PlayStation has had exclusivity on Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Now, Rebirth hasn't came out yet, so that's a little bit, it's up in the air. But Remake, when this game was first announced, I was told by people that was there that this was a year exclusivity and it was coming out for Xbox. Now, I don't know what happened between now and then. Maybe they were told incorrect information. But what I will say is, I remember on the box it even said first on PlayStation or something like that. Something changed. Something changed from the time it came out to the time the game's timed exclusivity ended. Maybe it was way more of a success than PlayStation initially anticipated. So then they just locked up the whole exclusive. Now, I don't know. Maybe it's a year exclusivity after all three of them come out. So you have to wait for Rebirth, Remake, Rebirth, and whatever the third one's called. I think they may have gave a name. I don't know. And then a year after that, all three of them come to the platform. I guess that might be a possibility. I don't know. But what I think happened is PlayStation saw those numbers. PlayStation saw the amount of people that drafted and drifted to the PlayStation ecosystem when that Final Fantasy VII Remake came out. Now, I'm not going to say it was a sizable amount of people, but I am going to say it was a good amount of people. Enough to look and, well, okay, maybe there's something here. So then I think that happened. I do believe that Microsoft at some point did something to upset Square Enix, because it's weird that we go from this moment where we're about to get all these games to Game Pass, you get Octopath Traveler, it seemed like there's a really good relationship here, to this moment where we're not even getting anything from Square Enix. Now, the reason I think that there's a good chance that we might get this game is just because I believe that with the last little things that's been going on with Square Enix, you have clearly they didn't make the Final Fantasy 16, expectations that they had internally. Does that really matter in a long scheme of things? No. I think that Square Enix has been notorious for wanting huge returns and sometimes unrealistic returns. Now, I don't know if this is one of those cases, but I would assume so. Now, there's clearly some kind of deal going on between Microsoft and Square Enix. Now, people are going to sit there and say, "Oh, Addict, they're buying them." No, let's stop that. They're not buying Square Enix. But I do think that they're going to start really pushing Square Enix to get their games. And 7 Remake's one of them. And 7 Remake, I would say, arguably is the most important one they have currently. Now, unless Sony went in there and paid a crazy amount of money to extend that deal to where it's never coming on Xbox, and they might have, but I doubt it. I would say within the next year and a half to 2, you'll see Final Fantasy VII Remake on Xbox. Because I think what happened is, it could be working on now. Maybe they just didn't release it on Xbox because of some bad friction between Xbox and Square Enix. I don't know. But what I think is there's a publishing agreement that is with Final Fantasy VII Remake. And once that is up, once that is clear, I think Microsoft and Square Enix are going to have a serious conversation. If not, they've already had it. Where it's like, look, once we're legally allowed to bring Final Fantasy VII Remake to our platform, I would really, really like us to arrange that. Now, I don't know if it's going to be in Game Pass day and date, but what I would say it would. Because here's the thing. Square Enix knows this many years after they would sell okay on Xbox, but it's better just to take the Game Pass bag and get a lot of that money up front than it is to gamble and put that game out there. We don't know how much it would realistically sell on Xbox. You know, these type of games don't normally resonate 100% with the crowd on Xbox, which is funny because it doesn't really resonate with 100% of the PlayStation crowd either. You know, it might sell 5 million, and I think it might have sold 10, but there's like 140 million PlayStation 4s. So did it really resonate? I don't know. I'll let you guys be the judge of that. And that's why I think once that publishing agreement's over, I think you will see that game come over. I do think that Octopath Traveler 2 most likely is early development on the port to come out, and I think these games will show up on Game Pass. And the reason I do now is because now since they've been out, and most likely Square Enix has at least recovered the cost of the production of making these games. They've covered the cost of the game. I think they'll be more open to having a conversation with Microsoft about putting them in Game Pass, because that money at that point is just pure profit. And I think you'll probably see that. You know, we need these games. Don't get it twisted. I know there's a lot of people on Xbox that says, oh, those games, they don't really appeal to me. I get it. Just because they don't appeal to you don't mean they shouldn't be on the platform. Final Fantasy and JRPGs are some of the most beloved franchises and genres in existence. Now, sure, is it as popular as it was back in the day? No. I would say that Final Fantasy has definitely took a tumble down. And if you like turn-based games, Persona is probably your thing right now. But what I will say is that these games have a lot of weight to them. And I think that's why Microsoft and Xbox have been so aggressive on trying to make sure that games like Persona, games like Final Fantasy, games like Dragon Quest, games like Yakuza don't miss the Xbox platform. Square Enix has been a thorn to Microsoft's side for the past couple years. They've missed out on a lot of exclusives that went to PlayStation by default because it wasn't on Xbox. And I'm glad that Microsoft is remedying that. I don't know if Final Fantasy VII Remake will ever come to Xbox, but I do think there's a very good chance. But I want you guys to put in the comment section below. Do you guys think this is a good chance this happens? It's like I said, there's a really good relationship with Microsoft right now. Square Enix and Xbox, they finally got Final Fantasy 14, and that's something that could probably just happen here and there. There's no marketing arrangements. There's no legal reasons why 14 could not be on the Xbox platform, and I think that's why you're seeing that come so soon. But when you put in the comment section below what you guys think. Do you think Final Fantasy VII Remake will come to the Xbox? I've given you the reasons why I think. And, you know, I hope you guys have a good day. And if you enjoyed the video, definitely hit that like button. I always appreciate the support you guys give me. And you can always subscribe to the channel if you're new. I make weekly content. And without any further ado, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace.